Welcome to FinTech TV. I'm Remy Blair. Now, global finance is making waves with the nation's first fully integrated blockchain-enabled capital markets platform. It is bringing together broker-dealer services, exchange operations, as well as transfer agency capabilities and digital asset technology. Now, Nat says the goal is to modernize how securities are issued, traded, and managed while staying fully compliant in a highly regulated industry. Joining me here at the New York Stock Exchange is Mark Elenowitz, CEO of NAT Global Finance. Mark, great to have you here. Thank you so much for joining me.
I appreciate you having me today. Thank you.
Well, you just had a big announcement here. So for our viewers, can you actually tell us about this platform?
Yeah, so today was what we consider to be a historic moment, because what we did is we brought together several companies to become one. And these are all regulated entities that have now merged into one entity called NAT Global Finance. And our goal is to modernize the capital markets. We're not trying to change it, but we're trying to make it more efficient by using technology.
So you mentioned a key word there, Mark, and that is efficiency, especially in a highly regulated industry. So what does this look like?
So our merger consists of 3 broker-dealers, 2 U.S. transfer agents, a blockchain software technology company, 64 blockchain patents, and the support of the Los Angeles Times. And what we've designed is an ecosystem that works with each other, where each one of these different businesses all work synergistically to create a complete capital markets platform that allows investors in the future, we're going through regulatory approval, but will allow these investors to be able to trade in digital securities. And what I mean by digital securities, these are not cryptocurrencies, these are not coins or meme coins or what we call mirror coins. It's actually securities right here on the New York Stock Exchange and NASDAQ that can be now tokenized and allow investors to be able to trade in a more efficient manner.
Yes, so Mark, can you walk us through this and tell us how this platform actually benefits issuers as well as investors right now?
Well, the key to blockchain-based marketplaces, and everyone's been trying to do this, and there's a lot of companies that have announced that they have ATSs that allow private security transactions, but those are not what we call listed securities. These are not covered securities or national market securities, securities that trade on the New York or NASDAQ. One of the problems with the capital markets today is that there's a, I guess you want to say, opaque ability to see complete transparency, meaning there's many different levels. For instance, like with Robinhood, everybody thinks it's free trading. The reality is nothing's free. Somebody throughout the process is making money. When you trade securities on the blockchain, you have efficiencies that are put into place to allow transparency where every single trade is memorialized on the blockchain, so it's completely visible to everyone at all times. There's no ability to have any type of market manipulation, layering, spoofing. It's an open order book, fully displayed, where investors can truly see best bid, best offer, and be able to get great price transparency as well as price execution. But most importantly, it's a T0 instantaneous settlement. So that means these securities trade and they settle immediately, not on T1. So investors are able to then be able to buy and sell instantly and be able to have those funds available to them on both sides of the transaction.
Yeah, and Mark, building on what you just said, can you tell us how you're actually balancing innovation when it comes to blockchain as well as regulatory compliance? Because I think that's a key component there.
Well, I think what really sets NAT apart is every one of us that joined into this new organization come from a regulated background. For instance, I'm an investment banker, 35 years on the street, and I created the ability under the Jobs Act to see securities trade on the New York Stock Exchange and NASDAQ using Reg A. We've done numerous transactions. We most recently just did the Newsmax, which was the first ever onto the NYSE. We've done lots of different transactions that enable retail investors to be able to invest. We also came together with Dr. Patrick Soon-Siong. Patrick is the founder, owner, or not the founder, excuse me, the owner of the Los Angeles Times. He's the creator of over 500 patents. 65 of those came into our organization that cover blockchain and blockchain securities. We also have Brian Collins. Brian is a technologist who built high-frequency trading systems for Credit Suisse and UBS using blockchain technology. He's integrated this software into what we're doing. We have Equity Stock Transfer, which is a full-service regulated transfer agent. All of these various components come together, and then we also have another company called Trading Block, which is an online retail trading platform that allows investors to be able to buy traditional securities and options and futures. Why this is all important is it comes together to create an ecosystem, because in order to have an efficient capital markets scenario, you need to have each piece of this puzzle. We've now created those pieces. So being regulated allows us to give investors protection, transparency, and under the oversight of the SEC and FINRA. Unlike a lot of our competitors that are more, I would call them blockchain maximalists, where they're technologists. They have great ideas, they want to DeFi the world, but the reality is you're not going to change the way Wall Street works. You need to conform and work with it and make it better.
And finally, before I let you go, this announcement is still fresh, but I know that you and your stakeholders have had a vision for a long time. So moving forward, what does the future look like?
Well, we think the future of the capital markets is going to change. We're already seeing it. Project Crypto came out with the SEC. NASDAQ announced that they're tokenizing their marketplace. The SEC just approved that, and DTC. And we're going to be doing the same thing. So we look at all markets need to have competition and be efficient. The New York competes with NASDAQ. There's a lot of ECNs, there's a lot of ATSs, there's a lot of third markets that securities trade. We intend to be the first digital securities marketplace, ATS, that will allow investors to trade on NASDAQ and then convert a traditional security into a digital security in our market. And we built the bridge to allow those investors to go back to NASDAQ or back to the New York and be able to then transact from traditional to digital seamlessly. And that, to me, is what the future of the markets are. So we're just waiting for our regulatory approvals, which will hopefully happen in the next few months. And then we're looking to change the way capital markets are for everyone.
Well, Mark, pleasure talking to you today. Thank you so much for joining me, and congratulations on the announcement.
Thank you very much.
My pleasure.
Appreciate it. Thank you.